Everyone. Okay. Oh, we should be live now. So this is a YouTube live video. So if you're watching it later, that is why there is no edits. Hopefully everyone can hear me okay. You may only be hearing me out of the left audio channel. That's because my audio interface and stuff like that. Hopefully it works itself out. I spent a bunch of time trying to figure out a workaround, and unfortunately, I couldn't at the time. So yeah, we're gonna get into this. I hopefully everything is picking up right now. I'm trying to pull the chat up right here, and why did the chat disappear? I swear, YouTube Live is one of the most difficult things to deal with. So if you guys can hear me, if somebody can give me like the little thumbs up emoji or just say hey, they can hear me, like we can get started. Um, Sounds good. Okay, cool. Thanks, Jeff. And Jeff, my podcasting partner, is in the chat. So cool. So first off, I wanted to cover a couple of things. We got some questions and stuff. Wow, we got some questions already jumping in. Okay. Let's start with the questions in the chat first. So Jessica in the chat asked if I'm still liking the Cal Digital USB-C Pro dock and whether you'd recommend it for a MacBook Pro and iPad Pro setup. So the Cal Digit, I'll put a link in the description after we finish all this. The Cal Digit hub that I'm using is both USB-C and Thunderbolt. They sent it to me. I did not buy it, so disclosure. But I absolutely love it. It's what this whole setup, I can't really show you right now, but what this whole setup is plugged into right now and powering. It has a ton of power. It's fantastic. I love it. It is amazing, and it works great with MacBooks too with Thunderbolt because it is both Thunderbolt and USB-C. So yeah, that's fantastic. Let's see here. We got a couple other questions in here. This is really hard to do by yourself too, by the way. I should always try and get somebody to help me with this. How is the iPad Pro for reading? Is it butter smooth? Does it hurt your eyes to tell? I don't really read books as much as I should. That is like the worst thing about me. I know I should read books. I'm a slow reader and I just never read them. So I should really get back into reading books. I have a few books actually in the iBooks or bookstore or Apple Books, whatever they're calling it now, that I've been meaning to read and I just haven't got around to. But out of all devices, I assume the iPad Pro would be the best for reading because it's got the best display out of pretty much any tablet, right? I'm guessing. I don't know. I don't really read enough to tell you. I read a lot of articles, and that's fine. A lot of blog posts. Greetings, everyone. You guys are all super nice. Just wanted to say thank you for the great videos. Yeah, absolutely. This person in here was wondering if I use a laptop. I do not. Well, I mean, if you count the iPad Pro as a laptop, that would be my laptop. But the iPad Pro is pretty much the only computer I have. I do have a PC that acts as a file server. It's got like 2 terabytes of internal storage. That's in the other room. Whoa, lighting just got weird. And I just use it as a file server. It's nothing special. I thought about putting Linux on it. I thought about making a Hackintosh. I thought about buying a Mac Mini, but ultimately it was just easiest to put Windows on it. And I set it up with the SMB connection over the Files app and just drag stuff over to it. Does the new iPad OS update have any bugs we should be aware of? Not that I know of. Trackpad support's amazing. We'll get into that. The trackpad support on iPad OS is fantastic. The mouse support is great, but I went and bought. I got to be careful because it's paired to my iPad. But I did went and buy the Magic Trackpad. I'm a little upset because I didn't realize until after I ordered it. For some reason, Apple charges an extra $20 for the Space Gray version. It's like, what? Why are you charging more for the Space Gray version? That doesn't. Space Gray paint costs more or something? I don't know. It's frustrating. But I absolutely love the trackpad support. It's been really, really good. Let's see here. I apologize if I accidentally skip your question or something. The chat automatically scrolls and I lose my spot. So just ask it again or something. But give me a little bit of time to get to everybody. From all the automation tasks you've created, how many are you actually using every day in practice? Most of them, if not all. I mean, not every day. Some are, some are like one-off automations. Some are, stuff I use every once in a while. But I typically, if I make a shortcut and I'm not using it, I get rid of it. I delete it because I don't want it sticking around. Like what I'll do is upload it to the iCloud share deal, and I'll put it in an Airtable database so I can always go back and download it later. But I just looked the other day and I had like 90 something shortcuts, and I kind of went through them all, and most of them are ones I use. Now some shortcuts, if you ever see like in my videos, you'll see like gray shortcuts, like the color gray. Those are shortcuts that get called by other shortcuts. So I don't tap on 90 something shortcuts, but sometimes those shortcuts will call other shortcuts. Um, let's see here. What do you think about the iPad Pro for graphic design? Could I replace a MacBook or an iMac? I get that question a lot. Like, can an iPad replace such and such computer for me? And it really depends on exactly what you're doing. If you have a spare iPad, even a non iPad Pro iPad, just download some apps and play around with it. It really just depends on what you're doing. If you're doing heavy Photoshop work, I would say no because the Photoshop app isn't quite there yet. But if you're just doing some light Photoshop work, maybe putting together some flyers or something like that, yeah, the iPad would be great for that. You can use like the Affinity Photos and Affinity Designer apps. Those are pretty good. Let's see here. Uh, can you uh, can you update if there's been some changes about your Things 3 use? Yes, there's been quite a bit of changes to how I use my task manager and stuff like that. I am working on a script. Basically, I'm working on a video series right now. My idea is like covering all the aspects and things that I do with my iPad. So like task management and calendaring, text editing, video editing, graphic stuff, podcasting. Like, and I'm just gonna break it up into separate videos because I've had a lot of questions but people wanting to know how I do like podcast setup and things like that. So I'm gonna try and do like a video series for each thing that I do on the iPad. And then maybe if there's something people want to know about, but I don't really do, like I might bring in some people to talk about graphic design because I'm really not the best graphic artist. Like Jeff, who's in the chat, he designed my logo, this logo. I couldn't do it. So yeah, absolutely. Um, let's see here. Does the mouse support suck more now than it did? I feel like I can do less with it presently. I think you're talking about the ability to program buttons. So that's still an assistive touch. If you want to be able to program buttons on third-party mice, you got to leave assistive touch on it and program that. I will say I've stopped using a mouse altogether, and I just use the Magic Trackpad now. Like I haven't really been going anywhere, so I'm not too worried about having like a portable mouse in my backpack right now. I'm just, like everyone's stuck at home, so I've just been using the Magic Trackpad. I haven't really been using a mouse at all. And once the new Magic Keyboard with the trackpad comes out, I have a feeling that's just going to be my go-to keyboard for pretty much everything now. Um, Is there an iPad OS emulator that would enable Safari or Chrome to behave like IE 7 or 8? Ooh, IE 7 or 8. Wow, that's old. No, I don't think so. Maybe some sort of web one or something. I don't know. Fun trick for all you network admins out there, completely off topic. You can download Windows 7 emulators with IE 8 from Microsoft. So they're VMs. So you can do that from Microsoft's website. So that's fun for all the IT people out there. That's my day job, by the way. Greetings from the UK as a fellow Type 1 diabetic and an iOS fan. Are you using Libra or BG? If not, best essential tech. Can we get BG reads? Blood glucose readings over Bluetooth. No, my health insurance does not cover the fancy diabetic stuff. I don't get any of the fun ones, but I did make a shortcut, and I'll have to go back and put in the description later on. That basically I just manually type in my blood sugar, my blood glucose readings, and it'll save it into the health app. Let's see here. Any chance there's a Siri shortcut that can toggle the Magic Trackpad 2 from? No. This person's wanting to switch between the iPad Pro and the iMac with the Magic Trackpad. Unfortunately, unlike the Logitech keyboards and mice and stuff like that, the Apple ones can only be paired to one device at a time. So if you want to switch between multiple devices, you have to unpair it and then repair it. And it's just so frustrating. I love the Logitech stuff, how you can have multiple pairing. And I know more keyboard companies and stuff do that. It's just Logitech's the one on my mind. In fact, actually, This one right here, the Keychron K2, it can do multiple ones. Yeah, it can do 3. Okay, so let's see here. Wow, it is really hard to keep up with the chat on YouTube Live. It kind of need a better job at this, YouTube. I want to buy an iPad Pro for doing research. Will the 11-inch be a good replacement to write on rather than regular paper notebook? The 11-inch versus the 12.9-inch iPad. This really depends on what you want to do with an iPad. If you want to make it your main device, make your life easy and get the 12.9-inch one. If you need the most portable, ultra thin, small device, the 11-inch one's the way to go. Sorry, I have the hiccups, guys. I got to take a drink really quick. The 12.9-inch is my favorite. When the 11-inch one came out, I got that one. The first and second gen 12.9-inch one were huge. The bezels were massive. It was insanity. It was big. So when the third generation came out, even though they shrunk the bezels, I really wanted something smaller, so I got the 11-inch one. I had it for a week and then returned it and ended up getting the 12.9-inch one. Fun fact, a lot of people don't know this, Apple has a 14-day return policy. So if you buy something, you have 14 days to take it back. Check to make sure that's in your country and a place of choice before you do it. Don't take my word for it exactly, but I'm pretty sure it's worldwide, but I don't know 100%. But anyways, 12.9, if you're going to be working off your iPad full time, that's the way to go. 11-inch is great if you still have like a desktop computer or something like that. Any ideas on how to use Facebook Ad Manager or Website Builder on an iPad? Only because I want to go iPad only. I've never used Facebook Ad Manager. I don't even have a Facebook account anymore. Or Website Builder. I don't know if that is a Facebook product or something else. For websites, I use a service called blot.im. That light is throwing everything off. The blot.im is a really cool service that basically focuses around text files and markdown, I'm sorry. I really like it. It's really good for blogging and things like that. It just depends on what kind of website you want. Squarespace was kind of working, but Squarespace really made me mad because they took away what little automation they had. They took it away in favor of this really crappy new web app. Basically, it's just really bad. I hate it. I hated it so much. I couldn't get away from it quick enough. I lost a bunch of stuff because there wasn't a good way to export a bunch of data from Squarespace. So I walked away. I'm on blot.im. It's super open. It's just text files. So if I ever wanted to move, I would literally, I have all the text files right there. It's really easy to automate with something like Shortcuts or even Zapier. I want to do a video on Zapier. Would you guys be interested in a video on Zapier? Or is that just nah, keep doing Shortcuts? I am redoing this room here. So fun fact, I'm going to pause some questions really quick. I'm redoing this room here. And over here where you can't see, I got a new table. I'm getting this top-down shooting rig, redoing the lighting, but I'm also changing the soundproofing over here too as well. So what my plan is to be able to do more sit-down tutorial videos of just walking through shortcuts. And I want to be able to do kind of more casual videos, especially walking through how to do individual shortcuts. And this would be a good way of being able to do that. So I'm working on that. Just with all the shipping stuff being delayed, it's taken a little bit longer than what I want. But yeah, that should be coming soon. Let's see here. Somebody asked, is there a chance you can explain a bit about your blog setup? It's just that blot.im service. It's really good. It's fantastic. It's such a good service. Let's see here. I check it out. It really depends on your needs, but blot.im is probably a good way to go for if you just need a blog or some place to post some pictures or links to YouTube videos or something like that. How well does coding work on the iPad? I'd love to get one. Kind of depends on what kind of coding you do. If you are into iOS app development, you can't really do anything. For me at work, I mentioned I'm in IT. We do a lot of PowerShell stuff. I have a basically a server that I just remote into and I control from my iPad. So that's basically what I do for work. Um, let's see here. Hi from London. Thoughts on Nebo app note taking on iPad? I tried it a while ago. I haven't given it a shot again. There's something about the iPad app, and I don't remember what it is off the top of my head, but I was not a huge fan of it. So I don't remember, but I'll give it a shot again. Can you tell? Hey, can you tell me whether we can operate WordPress websites in Safari using iPad 2020? I've never done WordPress ever before. It's hopefully you can. I'm assuming you can. Jeff, you're in the chat, right? Hey, tell the people if WordPress works on the iPad because you're my resident WordPress person. Let's see. Let's see here. Any chance for Affinity Pro stuff? I do want to do videos about Affinity stuff. I'm just not very good at graphic design. Like, I'm really not. And YouTube is not a place where it's not a judgment-free zone. So I don't mind like walking people through editing video. Like I think I'm pretty good at that. But when it comes to graphic stuff, I am not good at it at all. How long have you not used Mac OS? Can you say your work is faster on iPad OS? So I think I've went all in on iPad OS. Gosh, I don't remember. I think it's been about 3 years now. Mac, I don't really miss Mac OS. There's some things about it that do make it nice, like apps like Hazel and Keyboard Maestro and stuff like that. I'd love to have the ability to have those on the iPad. But I don't miss it. I just like the iPad. It's not so much whether it's faster or not for me. I just like it more. Let's see here. How do you like the Keychron K2 keyboard? I love it. It's fantastic. I was doing a whole product video before the whole virus that shall not be named happened. I was doing that. It was actually finished, ready to go. Then I was like, people are losing their jobs and stuff like that. And I was like, it doesn't feel appropriate to post something like that. And then on top of that, like all the stuff that I was talking about, you couldn't even order anymore anyway. So I was like, I'll revisit that. But anyways, the Keychron K2 was a part of that. And I went into detail about how I like it. I will say, don't buy the wrist rest. The launch tag. Any bending issues so far? Nope, just like the last one, never had a bending issue. Throw it in my backpack. Actually, I guess I haven't thrown this one in my backpack yet because I haven't gone anywhere. But nope, no bending issues. Never had bending issues on the last one either. What's one app that you discovered recently that made the iPad better? One app. Dark Noise. Dark Noise has been a great app. I love Dark Noise. It's such a good noise app. Sorry, I'm trying to read and talk at the same time, and apparently I can't do that. So yeah, let's just keep trugging along here. I know nothing about Zapier. That would be fun to watch. Okay, yeah, I'll do some Zapier videos. Let's see here. Is there a way yet to screen record and show the webcam at the same time on an iPad Pro? I don't think so. I've never done it. Anyways, Jeff in the chat says WordPress works great on the iPad. So there you go. If you have any questions, bug Jeff. He knows way more about WordPress than me. Chris, what prevents you from loving iPad 100%? What is missing? I mean, I do love it, but what's missing, I would say, is Apple's Pro apps. Ever since the iPad Pro came out, Jeff, again in the chat, can basically tell you I have been nonstop wanting Final Cut, Xcode, and Logic. Those three apps, I think, not only are they important to have on the iPad Pro because, again, it's Pro device, blah, 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 but on top of that, I think it would show a lot of other companies like Adobe, Microsoft, people like that, that Pro apps do belong on the iPad Pro and they should exist well. Let's see here. Are the black bezels on an external monitor on an iPad irritating, or can you unsee them after time? I totally unsee them now, but yeah, it is a little irritating that it's stuck at 4x3 and you can't get 16:9 support. I know that's kind of been on the top of everyone's wish list now, especially now that we have true mouse support. Um, I really like the idea of having true 16 by 9 monitor with a mouse, with a keyboard, and then you can just put your iPad over to the side. I know a lot of people are talking about closing it up now, but if you close it up and you go to like buy an app or something like that, then you can't use Face ID and you have to open it up, and it's like, oh. So just I just leave it open and put it off to the side. But my monitor, which I took off my desk, is actually down there, so I could put my iPad right here. Um, I really like it. It's a 4K monitor. It's really nice. Links in it are to my desk setup if you're curious about what that one is. It's in my desk setup video. Any way to go full screen and non-mirror an iPad image? I'm guessing on a monitor. Um, Certain apps support putting different content on a external monitor, and that'll display it at 16 by 9, like apps like LumaFusion, GoodNotes, but not all apps. They have to be designed for that. They have to take advantage of the API. Do you use Ferrite to record your audio? Yes, I use it to both record my audio and edit my audio. It's really good. I love Ferrite. What's great about it is custom keyboard shortcuts. So I can basically rewrite the keyboard shortcuts. So I made them match LumaFusion. So that way cut is the same, delete is the same. Because I'm mostly in those apps doing all my editing and stuff like that. And to me, like a lot of those shortcuts, if they're different, I have to stop and think about it for a second. So I just made them all match LumaFusion, and it's great. Um, everyone's asking Jeff now. Thank you guys. Do you only use your iPhone to shoot video? Actually, no. I use a Canon EOS R to shoot my video, which is over there. Right now, I'm using the iPad webcam because it's so much easier right now. Um, Let's see here. All right. I think we're kind of. Oh, can you use Ferrite to track and record mics at the same time? Can you use Ferrite? If so, how do you set up the mics? Okay, so I will do a big podcasting video, but right now, basically, I have my Shure SM7B that plugs into the Scarlett Solo, which plugs into the CalDigit Hub, which plugs into the iPad, and that's how I record my audio. I'm going to get into a few of these questions right here that were sent in really quick, so give me a minute in the chat to get caught up here. Oh, I've seen this question a few times too, and I kept missing it. Thoughts on Notion? Notion's iPad app is not good. It's really bad. Last I looked, they didn't even support split screen. No thanks. No, thank you. I need split screen or multitasking or whatever. Do you know of a way to engage Spotlight via Spotlight search via shortcuts? No, I don't think so. No, there's not a way. But yeah, no. There needs to be more ways to pull up Spotlight. Let me get to some of these questions here really quick. What are your top 5 needs for the future versions of iPad OS? Final Cut, Xcode, Logic. Better audio support so I can do both a Skype call and record my audio track at the same time. And number 5, global system-wide keyboard shortcuts for shortcuts. I've been saying this ever since Apple bought Workflow. I want global system. I want to be able to hit Command-Shift-1 and boom, fire a shortcut or whatever shortcut I want. Would you rather have a larger iPad, 20 inches or something, or true dock mode for the current size, whereby you'd connect the iPad up to a monitor and it fills the screen and works just like a desktop version of the iPad? Okay, so I think I would just take a true dock mode. So I've asked for a bigger iPad for a while, but I think honestly, if we had a true dock mode, because I just bought this iPad, it's a 1 terabyte iPad, so plenty of storage, probably plenty of storage. Video editing takes up a ton of space. But what would be really nice is true dock mode, plug it into a monitor, keyboard, mouse, 16 by 9 display, boom, go, good to go, keep working. Okay, need to run out the door, unplug it, take it with you. You just have the one computer to rule them all, kind of like what the idea of laptops is. But the problem with laptops is they're laptops. If you've had to like video edit or do anything extensive on a laptop and also try to do it like in dock mode, you know what I'm talking about. Like dock mode on a laptop isn't the greatest thing. But I would love to see I'd love to see some sort of dock mode, basically. I don't know why I keep saying that. And maybe even a dock made by Apple. That would be pretty cool. Greg asks, what is a computer? It's an iPad. You talk about the iPad all the time, but does your iPhone have a place in your workflow or at all, or is it just a phone? Well, right now I'm reading questions off of it. I don't really do work off my iPad. It is one of those devices that you kind of have to go out. Like, it's 2020. You can't not have an iPhone. But at the same, like, I use it to listen to music when I'm in the car and stuff like that. Yeah, that's fine. But I don't know. I just don't use my or my iPhone nearly as much as I use my iPad. I sit in front of my iPad all day, so if I get a message or something comes in, I deal with it on my iPad. Let's see here. Any more? How would your workflow change if you were using the 11-inch iPad Pro as your main device? Probably wouldn't change at all. I'd probably be a little crankier about it being smaller, but wouldn't change at all. What's your opinion on the new Bridge Pro Plus keyboard with trackpad? Have you tried it yet? I have not tried it yet. Bridge did send me the old keyboard. It's actually, you can see it right there. They sent that one to me. I didn't pay for it, but I bought the new Bridge Pro Plus, which is fantastic. I love the idea of it because it's like this laptop, but with trackpad. I'm super excited to get it. It's shipping end of this month, so when I get it, I will be making a video about it. So yeah, we'll give it a shot. We'll see what happens. What is the biggest hurdle you're facing with the iPad? I know a lot of things I have had issues with, but in the past have been fixed. But of course, iPad OS 13. But I'm curious what other issues you may face. I would really like to have better global control over navigation, things like that. And we're getting there with full keyboard access, with the true mouse support, things like that. We are absolutely getting there, but it all goes back to that global system-wide keyboard shortcuts. That stuff is that I think that would be huge. How long do you think the 10.5-inch iPad Pro will last? I think. I mean, the iPad Pros are pretty overpowered. I think it'll last a while. I have a feeling what'll end up happening is your battery will start to degrade before like the device is unsupported anymore. Probably. Because lithium batteries, physics, the more you charge them, the less they can hold charge over time. Let's see here. Some questions were coming in the chat. What is your storage workflow running apps like LumaFusion that take up a lot of storage? Buy the 1 terabyte iPad Pro. What is the best iPad Pro keyboard pro for you? Right now, I am just using the Smart Keyboard Folio. A funny fact, I'm using the 2018 one on the 2021, and there's just like this little like kind of pop out deal. It works just fine. I'm just waiting for the Magic Keyboard to come out, and I'll be buying that. Not super happy to spend $350, Apple. There's no. Anyways, I'm gonna give them my money for it because it looks awesome. Favorite app of all time, LumaFusion. Definitely LumaFusion. Without that app, I would not have been able to go iPad only. I would still have a Mac for video editing. LumaFusion is my key. Then Shortcuts workflow is a close second. What size iPhone do you have? This is the iPhone 11 Pro Max, so the big one. Just ordered AirPods Pro. I'm super excited about it. Can you speak about it a bit for the noise cancellation? Any other thoughts on them? I love my AirPods Pro. They are still probably one of my favorite pieces of like not a computer tech. That and probably my camera, like those two things. I love both of them. The iPad Pro, AirPods Pro. I should have drank more caffeine. The AirPods Pro, noise canceling is really good, but the transparency mode is even better. What's really great about that is the way my office is at work. Where I'm sitting faces a window, but you walk in behind me. And when I was using noise canceling, people would just walk in and I wouldn't even know they were there. And then I'd freak out and be like, oh, somebody was behind me. With transparency, you hear them walk in. So I really like the transparency mode. Have you had any issues using MindNode app on an external monitor? I can't get into mind mapping. It just doesn't work for me. I am a a list person, a bulleted list with like indentions and things like that. I keep wiggling the table and the camera keeps bouncing. I'm sorry. So I've tried mind mapping so hard. I've tried it so many times. I can't get it to work with my brain. How future proof do you think the iPad Pros 2020 are? Approximately how many years do you think? I mean, they're the newest iPads. They're gonna last for a while. They're completely tricked out. Super excited about that. So, yeah, I think the 2020 iPad Pros will last a while. I mean, it's kind of hard to say. You never know what Apple has planned. Like, I can't give like a okay. Well, they will stop being supported in 2025 or whatever. I don't know, to be honest. How practical and useful is LiDAR? Should I upgrade from the 2018 iPad Pro? No, you should not upgrade from the 2018 iPad Pro. If I had not already, if my 2018 iPad Pro was the 1 terabyte model, I would not have bought the 2021. Just flat out not. There's nothing LiDAR can do for you right now. App developers have to update to ARKit 3.5 in order to take advantage of LiDAR. Still not entirely sure what it gets me. Who's actually using AR apps? I feel bad saying that. Like, I feel like I'm putting down a whole category of apps, but I'm not using any AR apps. When I did my review of the iPad Pro, I had to go and find AR apps to download, including the Measure app, because I deleted the Measure app off my iPad and iPhone because it's not super accurate. I have a tape measure. I'm going to use the tape measure. Anyways, that's my rant on AR. Do you write scripts first and then shoot your video, or do you do the opposite? Typically, I write my script, record the script, edit the script, record the VO and edit the VO, and then record the video and then edit the video to match the VO. Usually, the audio comes first, but when I get my whole setup with the overhead rig and better audio setup over there, I'm going to just be doing probably just take notes of stuff I want to talk about and do like walkthroughs of shortcuts and apps and things like that that are a little more relaxed. They might be a bit longer, but I think ultimately they will be easier to produce, which will the quality be down? Yeah, they're not going to be as tightly scripted and stuff, but it'll allow me to make more videos. I know a lot of people are they were kind of complaining I was only making one video a month, but the way I make videos is very slow. I have to do a bunch of research, take notes, write a script, do audio, edit the audio, record the video, edit the video, thumbnails. Yeah, it takes too much time. So hopefully this way I'm able to make more videos quicker and the quality's still good. What do you think of the Shift Screen app? The Shift Screen developer emailed me when he put out the app, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So for those that don't know, Shift Screen is a app that allows you to have like web pages and documents and stuff up on an external monitor using the external monitor API. So it's true 16:9, which is great. Any thoughts on PowerPoint? I haven't used PowerPoint since college, and that was, oh God, that was a long time ago. I don't know. I literally don't know anything about PowerPoint. If it is financially viable, would you ever move to YouTube full time? That is my goal, to be honest. It was one of the reasons why I launched a Patreon, which I kind of got a lot of flack for launching a Patreon. So let me explain. Let me take a minute and explain why I launched the Patreon. I did it so that these videos cost money to produce. Most of the stuff here I bought. Keyboard, trackpad, iPads, I buy. And I use the money that I make from YouTube to do that. That's great. But as a viable business, you have to make money in order to make this a business. And I'd love to make YouTube my full-time job and make YouTube videos and, turn out 3 or 4 videos a week. But you have to make money for that. So that was one of the reasons why I launched Patreon. The Patreon is not anything that everyone has to go and subscribe to. I'm not asking for it. If you'd like to support me, it's there for that, but you don't have to. What I will say is, those that do, you get some really cool wallpapers, a newsletter that I'm working on the first issue for, and then a podcast where I kind of just talk about iPad stuff, whatever I'm thinking about iPad stuff. So that's there. If you search Patreon Christopher Lawley, you'll see right now. Let's see here. Best external monitor for the iPad Pro. I mean, it's probably the LG Ultrafine. The 4K one is probably the best one, but it's kind of expensive. If you go to my iPad desk setup, I have an LG 4K monitor that I talk about there. The links are in there, or I will put them in the description when I'm all done doing this live video. Um, who's your favorite tech YouTube right now? I'm going to count this as tech because I think camera stuff is tech, but Peter McKinnon is very entertaining and also very informative. I've learned a lot about filmmaking. I've been making videos since I was 12, but I've never really used like DSLR cameras or, in my case, a mirrorless camera to do video stuff. I actually started with you guys remember the Lego robots? They had this web camera like extension. Basically, it was on a 6-foot USB cord. That was my very first camera I ever did, and I do Lego stop motion videos. So I've come a long way since then. But I've learned a lot from his channel. Matty Hapoya is another really good one. There's a lot of really good like filmmaker ones out there, and I count them as tech. I need to buy a USB-C hub. Any recommendations? Depends on what you want. If you want something that sits on your desk, constantly plugged into power, the CalDigit one that I talked about in my desk setup is great. The other one, which I don't have with me, is the Kingston Nucklum. It's like NUC. It's from Kingston or King. I think I've always been pronouncing that wrong, but that's okay. Over-the-ear headphone recommendations. These Audio-Technica ATH M50X. I've had these for like 4 or 5 years now, and they are fantastic. Maybe not that long, maybe like 3 or 4 years. But they've held up well. The padding's starting to go. I need to replace the padding on them, but no big deal. Like I've had them for a while. I wear them all the time, so it's just one of those things. Have you tried smaller text size on 11-inch iPad Pro? How does it feel? No, I'm getting old. I just leave the default one. I'm dreading the days when I'm actually going to have to turn up the uh, text size. What do you think Apple will add in iPad OS 14? I don't know. Hopefully something good. I don't know anything, to be honest. I really don't know anything. Last year I heard a couple of things over the grapevine, but I haven't heard anything this year. So with everything going on in the world, I hope there is an iPad OS 14 this year. Who knows? Honestly, like I'm not assuming anything anymore. Have you tried progressive web apps on iPad OS 13? No, I'm not really a big fan of web apps, to be honest. Mic recommendations for podcast and singing. Okay. Everyone has different opinions. And also, this is also a really hard answer, too, because everyone's voice is different. So you really have to kind of figure out, maybe find some place that has a really good return policy. This one right here is the Shure SM7B. It's incredibly expensive. I don't recommend it unless you have some sort of hobby or side job, or if it's your job where you make money from using your microphone. That is the only way I would recommend buying this microphone. It's a $400 microphone, people. Like, don't buy it unless you were making money from it. I've been using, hold on one second. Okay, never mind. I don't have it there. The Audio-Technica ATR 2100 was the mic I was using before that. It's like $80 or something like that. It has both XLR, which is great, and USB. So if you don't have like an audio interface, that's probably a great place to start. Because it's cheap enough, but you get good enough quality. Let's see here. Have you ever dabbled with iOS jailbreaking? So my day job is in information security. Jailbreaking, as far as security wise, is one of the worst things you could do to your device. I will never jailbreak any one of my devices. It's just no. I know there's cool things you can do with it, but I will never jailbreak it. Don't want it. So let's see here. I got some more questions that were asked on YouTube. Let me pull these up here really quick. This one's good. When are you going to accept that Cherry MX Brown is superior to the blue switches? Never. You know what? Right now, I'm going to go and buy the gravestone for me. And all it's not going to say my name or anything. I don't need any of that egotistical stuff. It's just going to say Cherry MX Blue for life. That's going to be like the number 4, and it's going to be like life. And we'll spell life with like a Y or something, because I will never, never give up on the blue switches. They're amazing. You're the only one mentioning the new keyboard features that were offered in 13.4. Can you talk about them since you have used it more? Updates on using mouse support, and have you picked up a trackpad or Magic Mouse? So let's answer the last question first. Yes, I have the trackpad, the space gray one. Really annoyed that it cost me $20 more, and I didn't realize that. Magic Mouse, I've had one for a while. I honestly hate that mouse. It messes up my hand. The keyboard navigation, the full keyboard access, is really cool. Somebody just asked, who am I? I am Christopher Lawley, Cherry MX Blues. That was a good one, Jeff. Yeah. I like the full keyboard navigation, but it does some things with like apps, like things and stuff like that have keyboard navigation already that kind of mess it up. So I turned it off for now, because I think I'd rather have good keyboard navigation in apps like that over having short. I don't know. It's one of those things I keep going back and forth on. The trackpad and mouse support's very, very, very good. Are you in lockdown? Kind of. I'm in California. We're in statewide lockdown, but through my day job, I am technically considered essential. But I can do my job from home, so I'm just staying home. Don't go out if you don't need to go out. Seriously, don't go out. I'm also type 1 diabetic. For those that didn't know, diabetics are at high risk. So if you know any diabetics in your life, check in on them. I'm thinking of switching to video editing on the iPad Pro, currently using Premiere Pro on PC. I know you prefer LumaFusion. Can you talk about why you don't use Final Cut Pro 10? Thank you, by the way. I just got my first iPad. I don't use Final Cut Pro 10 because it's not on the iPad. Yeah, no, it's just not on the iPad. If it was on the iPad, I'd totally be using Final Cut. I'd love to use Final Cut on the iPad. I like LumaFusion. Should you switch from something like Premiere on a PC to LumaFusion? I don't know. It depends on what you're doing. Honestly, a lot of this does depend on what you're doing. If you have an iPad laying around, download LumaFusion, try editing a video on it, or watch some videos. I have a tutorial. There's a lot of other people that have tutorials out there. Chris was in the chat. Chris makes some LumaFusion tutorial videos too as well. Chris, put a link in the chat so people can find your LumaFusion tutorial videos. That way, but it really depends. It's not as robust as Premiere Pro. Definitely not. I've spent a majority of my video editing life editing in Premiere Pro, and there are things Premiere Pro that LumaFusion can't even come close to. But for my video edits now, since I just pretty much edit videos for YouTube, I don't really need any of that stuff. So yeah. Do you know LimeWire? Yeah, back in the day, everyone used LimeWire. I mean, I didn't. I would never admit to using LimeWire. How do you create Siri shortcuts that save news articles from Safari with images from the article included? That's a good one. You could probably like select all the text and then save it. I don't know. I'd have to play around with that one. I use reading lists a lot to save articles. What got you into working fully off the iPad? LumaFusion was definitely it. I just really liked the iPad Pro as a device. It was a great computer. That very first iPad Pro, I was so happy with. I was so excited when I got it too. And I just wanted to keep working from it. I really just have lost interest in the Mac. It just wasn't interesting to me. There wasn't anything new coming out for it. And for a lot of people, that's great. Like, that means it's stable. They can continue to do their job on that. But ultimately, I want exciting stuff. I make videos about apps and automations, and I like this stuff. So anyways, let's see here if there's any other questions in here. You guys got any other questions? I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you guys for watching, by the way. I really appreciate it. This was just kind of, I was going to just record a video of me talking in the camera, but I figured we're all kind of in lockdown, and, most people probably haven't seen a bunch of people. Favorite song to edit to. I can't listen to music while I edit. Or are you talking about, like, music that I edit with? It is, I use a service called Epidemic Sounds. You've probably heard a bunch of other YouTubers talk about it. It's a great service if you need that. It's for creators like me, it's about $15 a month, and it's fantastic. I absolutely love it. I can always find stuff I want. There's a bunch of free services out there that you can try when you're getting started, but Epidemic Sounds is great. What do you think of battery life on the iPad Pro? Pretty good, and I think it's pretty decent. I can get through my day on it unless I'm doing like heavy video editing. Then I usually plug into my dock. Do you have any shortcuts that create templates in Apple Notes? I don't actually have any shortcuts for Apple Notes right now. I haven't used Apple Notes in a while. Favorite lens on your camera? Ooh. Oh. It's too far away for me to go grab. Actually, hang on. 2 seconds. Okay. All right. I saved like a bunch of pennies for this one. This is the Canon EF 85 f1.4 L series lens with IS. This right here is an amazing B-roll camera or lens camera. It's a great lens. It's heavy though. It is big. It is massive, but it is an awesome camera lens. Autofocus isn't as great as some of the RF lenses. So I use manual focus a lot sometimes, but it's fine. It's decent as long as you're not doing anything too much. But it is a very expensive lens that, but I love it. It is, I saved for a little while to get this thing, and I was really happy when it showed up. When are you going to sell your kidneys for the new rumors of the EOS R? Oh, that EOS R5, people. Oh, 8K uncropped video. Yes, please. I probably would never shoot in 8K. I'd probably just shoot 4K, but I super want it. I super want that Canon R5. No idea how much it's going to cost, but yeah, anyways. Any other questions, guys? I was thinking I'd go for about an hour. We're about 45 minutes right now. So anything else? Make these live videos a regular thing. Maybe. A lot of times my schedule is really weird, so it's kind of hard to do that, but yeah. Do you have any experience with Dji Products? I had the phone gimbal thing for a while, but honestly, I didn't use it that much. It was just kind of a pain. Am I the only one that who loves but hates the iPhone 11? Question about iPhone 11 having USB-C. I wish the iPhone 11 had USB-C. Like, it needs USB-C. Maybe with the rumored USB 4. Somebody keeps asking how much. I'm not sure what you're talking about in reference to. But just Google. Jeff, should I start a YouTube channel? What are some tips for people getting started? Jeff, yes, you should start a YouTube channel. You do video stuff for your day job. You know how to do video. Make a YouTube channel. Tips for getting started: just keep making videos. It's going to take a while, especially a lot of people, see these people that get million subscribers within the first couple of months or whatever. It doesn't happen very often, but just be patient. Keep posting. I think it took me 8 or 9 months to get to just 1,000 subscribers. And whole reason why I'm doing this is the channel just crossed 50,000 subscribers. So that was awesome. That was huge. Thank you guys. Somebody keeps asking how old I am. I am 29. I will be 30 in September. September 29th? Yeah, September 29th, I'll be 30. Ugh. That's going to be an interesting day. Can you ask your buddies at CalDigit to hook me up with the TS? Sure, I'll email them. Yeah. No, I don't know. They're not my buddies. They just sent me this one thing. So, anything else, guys? Jeff, start that YouTube channel. I want you to review mechanical keyboards, but only Blue Switch mechanical keyboards. There's your YouTube channel, Jeff. Any other questions? I know the chat's a little delayed. That's why I'm kind of like stalling, because I want to make sure people have a chance to ask questions. How is the video and audio quality on this? Oh, here we go. Are you able to use your iPad on your day job too? I make the technology rules, so yeah. I've been making videos for a year. I have 200 subs. Well, that tells me my videos kind of. No, just keep trucking away at it. It's really it's not one thing. Like it's really hard to explain. How do you back up your video files? So I mentioned earlier in this podcast, I have a PC that I kind of built. So it is in the other room. It's got 2 terabytes of storage. Basically, anytime I record a bunch of footage, I put it on my iPad, and then I connect to it via SMB, and I back up that footage there. I wish there was some sort of time machine or something for iPad. I hate the iPad backup strategy right now. It scares the living bejesus out of me. Um, but I really want um, uh, proper time machine. Somebody asked, who do you do IT for? I cannot talk about that. I can't say. Shortcuts for dummy video. Yeah, I've done a couple of basic shortcuts videos. I kind of talked about it a little bit. I'm building like a different kind of setup over there, so it'll be much easier to do like shortcuts videos and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to doing that. Let's see here. Anything else, you guys? Office. Oh, sorry. Somebody asked about Excel or Numbers, and then somebody just asked Office or Apple Suite. I like Numbers over Excel, but I don't do much. Ooh, somebody asked, am I in a relationship? Wow, getting personal here. No, I am not. Anyways, Office is probably better if you need way more detail in something. Like if you need to be able to push your apps a little bit further, especially Excel. Like I've seen stuff people do Excel. Jeff. I've seen stuff people do with Excel that I can't believe. I've seen 5 gig Excel documents. It was anyways. So Excel's probably better than Numbers, but Numbers is easier to approach. So I like to use Numbers because I don't use that kind of stuff often. Word or Pages, I don't really use either. I don't really do that, but I'd probably go with Pages. Yeah, anyways. If you're in a relationship, how does your partner deal with true hours on YouTube? I'm not in a relationship. That's because, anyways, YouTube. Yeah. Jeff. Oh, Jeff is my podcasting partner. Nah, he likes to have fun. Hopefully, the people that are watching the recording can see this. Favorite storage option for iPad, Dropbox or iCloud? Local storage. That way, everything stays on the device. The local storage is probably my favorite, but for cloud syncing, I do prefer Dropbox, just because it's a little more tried and true. Weird stuff seems to happen with iCloud. Weird stuff, but the Dropbox Files app is really buggy. What are some shortcuts that you think it would be super helpful to people that use their iPad a lot for school? Probably some sort of like task management shortcut that allowed you to put in like homework assignments or something. But I haven't been in school for almost 10 years, I think. I don't know. It's been a while. So I am the last person that should be asked about school because it's been a long time. Am I excited about 5G? I don't know. It's not here yet where I'm at. So I don't know. It'd be cool when it's here. Yeah, I'll be excited. Have you always lived in California? No, I have moved around quite a bit. I moved around quite a bit as a kid, but I live in California now. I like it here. It's nice. I'm 2 hours away from Yosemite, like 2.5 hours away from the beach. I got LA down south, San Francisco up north. Great stuff. Wi-Fi or cellular iPad? Always cellular iPad. Always cellular iPad. Mostly because I don't use it very often. I really don't use it very often. But at the same time, like I like having that ability when I need it. So if I'm traveling or something, it really comes in handy. Let's see here. What is the best platform for streaming live on YouTube other than Streamlabs? I don't know. I'm just actually using the YouTube app right now. The iPad isn't super open or flexible to when it comes to live streaming, and honestly, I'm just here by myself. So, I probably should have done something better. I probably could have grabbed like my server PC and put OBS on there or something like that and did something like that. But to be honest, I'm a firm believer of the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. My old film teacher used to tell us that. And it just, I don't know, it stuck with me. It stuck with me. Like, just wanted to keep this simple. Got a few other big projects I'm working on that are a little bit more complex. So I just needed something that was not as stressful. What are your favorite shows right now? Ooh, I was a little disappointed by Picard, to be honest. I was really disappointed by Picard. Clone Wars is back. That's pretty good. The Witcher was very good. The Witcher was very good. The Mandalorian was also very good. Um, I don't know. I was thinking about this the other day. I don't really have a show. Oh, Tiger King was super good. I almost started this live chat with, "Hey there, you cool cats and kittens," but I was like, "No, everyone's stealing that right now. Like, don't do that." What program do you recommend? Program for what? Oh, the live thing. I don't know. Try OBS. Depends on what you got. Favorite note taking app. I can recover edited Apple Notes. I like Drafts. I do all my text editing in Drafts. Drafts is where all my text goes. Things is where all my task goes. Like that, I try and keep my productivity system as simple as possible. Once you start adding a bunch of apps and like, okay, this kind of text document goes here, but then that, yeah, I don't know. I like to keep my stuff simple. Um, should I wait for the new Apple keyboard or buy something cheaper right now? I'd probably wait for the new Apple one. It's next month, so I mean, I'd wait. Are you using the YouTube app on your iPad to stream? Yes. So I have my 2020 iPad right here, and I have the 2018 iPad right here. I haven't figured out what I'm going to do with it. I think I'm giving it to my brother. I don't know. We'll see. Rate Westworld. I have not been watching the current season of Westworld. I really liked the first season. The second season was super confusing. Yeah. Anyways, I don't know. I don't know. I gotta watch it. I was gonna wait till it all finishes, then pay for a month of HBO, watch it, and then cancel it because too many. I have too many subscription services right now, and I gotta pare them back. Have you started watching Cosmos? I don't know what that is. Sorry. Any specific iPad Pro battery tips? Would you make a video? I mean, there's not really anything to give you tips for. Like the iPad OS and iOS do a lot of battery optimization already. So I don't know. Make sure you lock your device. I don't know. That's pretty much it. Like iPad OS pretty much handles all that. Are you able to pay for the iPad monthly or pay it off? I never recommend anyone go in debt for a piece of tech that you don't absolutely need. If it's for a business or something like that and you got a business credit card or whatever, that's a different thing, but don't go into debt. It's never a good thing. What camera are you using? Canon EOS R, great camera. Do you think Apple will ever let the iPad fill out the external monitor? I kind of talked about this already. I really hope so, but I don't know. I think so. I think that's going to be a next year thing. What music subscription service do you use? Apple Music, because it works really well with shortcuts. Honestly, I don't care for the app itself, but it works really well with shortcuts. And I've been actually working on a bunch of music shortcuts that I'm going to do a video about. So, yeah. Would you start doing PC recommendation videos? No. You don't want me doing PC recommendation videos because it'd be like, all these are crap. Go buy an iPad. You're a good guy, dude. Thanks for thank you. What kind of car do you drive? This feels like it's getting a little like I'm about ready to get doxxed. It's a car. I do drive a car. That's what I'm gonna say. Anyways, any go to or I'm sorry. Any way to go to an external monitor without losing audio? No. It's so annoying. The audio system needs a huge improvement in iPad OS. Please make more videos about organizing your life. I do have some planned. Try the screen shift app. I have been using that for a while. I talked about that a little bit already. All right, guys. I think I'm going to end this here. We're right about an hour, so I don't really want to go too much longer. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Like I just mentioned a little bit ago. Sorry, my voice is getting a little hoarse. Talking for an hour alone is wow. It's kind of a lot. But the channel just crossed 50,000 subscribers. I'm super excited about it. I've got a lot of really cool things planned. I got a lot of videos that we're gonna save them. We're gonna keep a surprise. You know. But anyways, I got a lot of cool stuff planned. I really want this channel to grow. I talked about earlier. My goal is to do YouTube full time. So hopefully, in the future, we might be seeing some more videos come out even quicker. Everyone stay safe out there. It's a weird time. I'm normally all about the weird, but this is too much weird. So anyways, everyone stay safe. Thank you guys. Have a great day.